All right, home update. Time to fill y'all in. Let's take you for a tour. Well, no better place to start than one of the three doors. I guess this would be the front door, back door. It'd be whatever. Now, this is going to be a door, a 3068 standard door, and have a 4 foot wide, 6 foot 8, 6 foot 8 inch window right next to it. Now, I'm a little uncertain if I want the door on the south side or do I want the door on the north side. I'm still a little back and forth on that. I'm just going to have to imagine it because as you enter this side, you're entered into the living room. But next to this is probably my favorite part about the living room. And that's going to be this massive window. It is 7 foot wide, 6 foot tall, sitting 16 inches up off the ground. The only reason I'm not crazy about stuff being on the ground is Arkansas and critters and all things like that. And when it goes all the way to the ground, you lose that shelf space. I could still put some things here on this little ledge right here, which I've already lost a little bit with that window and door combo over here. And I didn't want to lose that too much. And you'll notice with all windows, they go over my head. Nothing's more frustrating to me than a mirror in a window when I have to like bend down or crouch down. It's just kind of like a pet peeve of mine. And please excuse the mess. While we put up all the stud work for the exterior and a lot of the interior not completely done. So I'm up here to kind of make this video and clean up as well. Still got to put up the wall right here. There will be a wall just shy of 20 feet, which is halfway. This is a 40 by 30 foot structure. I will sit here, and this will be one of my main living room walls. Probably will be where I have my TV. I will also have the door to the living room, which I'll cover in just a little bit. It's probably going to be the flow is facing this way for the first part of the living room. So think like couch, big comfy couch here, facing this wall, the TV over there, and then having like another section over here. Something artistic, lots of light, lots of good energy coming in. I'm thinking drywall, and just letting the pieces I've collected, whether it be art, ceramics, or anything really speaking and being the energy to this space. And having grown up in a log home, I do just love large pieces of wood, which I've talked about. I've wanted to run a beam structure off to about halfway in the room, but the problem is I made my bedroom a little bit bigger. This would be 15. My bedroom runs to 17 foot, so it may be off a little bit. Like if I ran a beam right here, it would run into my door going into the bedroom. So we'll have to see. I may just run a beam coming off right here and coming this way, having a beam sit right here in the living room because you can always build shelves around it to put more books or art or hang things on it. I think it would help divide the rooms up as well because as we make our way back into this section, we start to work our way into the kitchen. So as it flows into the kitchen, you can already tell what my sink's going to be. The one hard thing about this pole barn style build is I've had to have a lot of my plumbing roughed in before I poured my concrete. So I've decided to put the sink here and just put a cute little 3x3 window. It's funny. I think right now I'm kind of like, man, I wish I would have gone with a bigger window here. But by the time I put my shelving and add all my appliances, I think I'm going to be happy that it's just a cute little 3x3 window where I can see out into the field and to the farm. But the flow of the kitchen is going to be pretty much stove, counter space, a sink here, and then a refrigerator over here. I think that's just a good flow because you're going to the fridge, you're grabbing things, you're washing them, you're cleaning, you're prepping, you're cooking, and then we'll have a center island here for, if guests come over, if I'm eating, where this will be the main eating area. There's going to be an island here. No reason to have a dining room table. It is, traditionally maybe dining room tables are very popular, but it's just something I feel like I would never use. And it's just such a big commitment to space that I didn't want to give up. But definitely while my living room is going to be light, it's going to have a lot of character. I feel like the kitchen's going to be on the side of industrial with wood. It's really hard for me not to do some really moody color in here. But since I like to cook so many different varieties and flavors, I think it's good that my kitchen is just very basic and almost industrial and sleek and clean and ready for, again, that variety. So as we make our way north, you can see we have another 3068 little door here. It will be off into a porch, which we will walk off into. And then we'll also have a nice little wood stove, which we're going to put here. Don't know where. the, I don't really want to go through the roof, but I don't really want to go through the exterior wall either. So I'm trying to figure out how that's going to work. But I think it would just bring a warmness, a coziness to the house in the winter. But we walk on to this space, which is going to be used as an office, live streaming room, just anything work computer wise will be in here. You can tell I really, really kept going with the big window, lots of natural light feature. This is a 5 foot by 5 foot window. My buddy was building a house, had a 5 foot wide by 6 foot tall window, and I liked it. But when I drew it out, something about me just really enjoyed the square look of this, and I made sure to do this 2 foot up off the ground. Just looks like something where you could easily, sit here and just look out here all day, especially when things, get planted outside and that landscaping work gets done. I could see myself just enjoying a nice morning right there. But I'll have all of this wall right here for either decorating or putting my table and my desk, and we'll keep making ourselves forward on this part, and we'll make it into the utility room. And I know I said utility, but I should probably say multi-purpose. Washer, dryer. I can see pantry over here, a hot water heater. Maybe you're coming in and it's a nasty day. You get muddy. Your clothes are dirty from working out in the garden. You could come in here. You could take the clothes off. Maybe a big industrial sink for washing vegetables, getting that initial dirt off those clothes. Just farm things that happen on the farm. Get in here, strip that dirt so you're not bringing it into your main living area. It's a huge space. It is, again, 10 by 13. So we're 10 foot wide right here, and we're actually 13 foot long on this part, the north and south. You may notice there's no windows here. I'll probably just have some nice lighting. I'll probably do a full wood door, no glass in the door. Haven't really thought about the design of this too much because it is going to be such a utility functional room. I'm not sure. I'm really unsure about this. It's going to depend on the layout and what I can do with my plumbing. So if we make our way back out here into the living room, you can see the wall I've yet to put up. This is because I'm so unsure of the door. From here to here, I have a 3068, just your typical door marked out. But the more I think about it and the more I think of the style of my living room, the more I can't help think that I would maybe want something grand and tall here. Like when you go to Paris and you see the really tall doors in the apartments with the high ceilings, I'm thinking something like that. I've got a 10-foot high ceiling. I like the placement of the door up here. I initially thought about having it down here, but it's too close to my exit door out here. So I didn't like having the doors jammed together that close. I liked here because I thought it brought a better balance. So if we were to follow and go in the door how it's supposed to be, you'll enter here. You're going to have your bedroom probably against this wall right here, just because you could wake up, and I have another 5 by 5 window. Now, I'll never get any more sunrises here because this is facing west, but I think I'm going to do such a great job landscaping. It's something I'm going to enjoy looking out to. I know right now it just looks like a hayfield, but I trust my ability, and you have to trust the process. While most things you plant, you need to give them 3 to 4 years. I know it's going to be worth it. That's been one of the biggest challenges I've had with this build, is trying to remember you're investing in the future, not right now. Things are going to take time. And that's okay. I don't really need a lot of light in my bedroom because all I do in my bedroom is sleep. I would rather have something dark and moody. Anyways, I just knew if I needed light, I wanted to be able to have that light. Here we are. We'll make our way from the bedroom to the bathroom. And just another 3068 door. I'll probably do either a concealed. I probably won't do a barn style because I don't like being able to see the railing run, but I'll do a concealed style door where you're able just to push it. This can't really hinge very well because if and when we make our way into the bathroom, there's not really a great area here to swing the door. Here we have a space for the shower. It's going to be open here pretty much. We're going to have a tub, not like a full size tub, but more like a Japanese soaking tub. They're not long at all. They're only like 50 inches long, maybe 28 inches wide. They're pretty small, but have the shower here. I won't really even have them divided. I'll just have this as an open, wet area, a little bit slanted, just so his water never runs this way. Now, as you'll see, this is a 6 foot wide, 3 foot tall window, and it starts at 4 foot. It starts pretty high. I kind of like this because it just conceals enough, not showing everything. I mean, I may come back later and cut out more and put a bigger window that starts lower. But for now, I just enjoyed this because it's kind of got this picturesque little vibe to it that I like. Almost just looks like the painting on a wall. And then, of course, on this eastern side, we'll have our toilet here. I'll put a little fake wall here so it's not like you're coming straight into the toilet. We know how passionate I am about the toilet. So hopefully it'll be a nice, beautiful Japanese toilet that welcomes me when I come to the bathroom. Then there's going to be a little 2 foot wall here just because I'll have to cover up the venting for the toilet. And then the vanity will be here. Again, another little 1 to 2 foot wall coming off with a big, huge 48-inch opening that you walk into your closet. I'll just use this as a hanging clothes closet space. I'll build a little bit of shelf work, but mainly things that are smaller, probably like socks, underwear, shoes will go in here, and then a lot of the clothes I have to hang up, which is surprising. As much as I love clothes, I think I may have misjudged the closet space a little bit. I thought this was going to be enough. I kind of wish I would have had more hanging, but I didn't think of it as too big a deal because I'll have all these walls in my bedroom, which I can convert into cabinets and closets. So that's the vision so far. It's been the first time you've probably seen the house on YouTube, so you can tell we did end up going with a metal roof. I'm going to talk about the whole price breakdown it takes to get in the dry. So we still got to add sheathing, windows, doors, and an exterior siding. Once we get in that dry, I'm going to do a cost breakdown video for getting in the dry and then everything after that. And of course, bring it all together at the end with a total cost breakdown. Some of my regrets. There's already a lot of regrets I have, but we're just documenting it along the way and just bring you along for the journey. So that's what we got so far, and we will catch y'all at the next one. Peace.